We're still up on the tripod. Good morning. Well, today is Friday, March the 13th. So Friday the 13th today. Anyhow, we are on a very, very sloppy, sleepy trail. The temperature is right now is about 0 degrees Celsius, maybe -1. And I think it's going to stay there most of this day. And then I think it's going to drop as a cold front passes through. Although I'm not quite sure. The cold front, I think, is actually coming through quicker than I expected. Snowing. But a beautiful trail all the same. And a beautiful location. We are on the Blue Mountain, or in the Blue Mountain section, on the Bruce Trail. We parked our car this morning at the end of the third line. Where we picked up a trailhead for the Bruce Trail. We're heading to the Pretty River Valley, to a little spot I know there that I actually camp at quite a bit, although we're not camping tonight. We're too cold for me, but tonight's low I think is about -10 degrees Celsius. So we're not camping, but it's a day hike. It's about a 25-kilometer round. About 12.5 kilometers to the Pretty River Valley location, and the same coming back along the same trail. Whew. Hey, Gary here. Trail named Jasper. Welcome to my channel. As I said, we have had actually a lot of up and down kind of weather, and today the trail is a mess. It's kind of soft in a lot of spots everywhere. Sloppy. It's just not quite cold enough to tighten it up. So a lot of kind of post holing. The snow is still pretty deep here and very, very slippy. If you've watched other videos on my channel, you'll know that I'm a big believer of trail runners, and I am, although today I elected to wear my Morel hiking boots just because of the extra support and protection that they offer in what I suspected would be challenging conditions on the trail. Okay. Man. Yeah. The conditions on the trail are making the work twice as hard as it would be normally, or 3 times as hard as it might be on a summer's day. But hey, it is what it is. But we're out here today. We're going to lay down a total of about 25 kilometers throughout the day. Pack weight today, it's a day pack weighing about 10 pounds. We've got a few extra things in there that we'll talk about a little further down the trail. But for now, let's lay down a few miles. Let's get going. A beautiful little section of trail through here. It's actually one of my favorite kind of areas on this particular hike, although I have a lot of favorite areas. But on this particular hike, we are going to be going over the highest point on the Bruce Trail. We're going to be going past the Osler Bluff Lookout, which we've been to before. I'm sure you'll recall that. I have no idea what the visibility is going to be like. It is brightening up as that cold front comes through. Only 20-30 minutes ago it was wet, snow, rain, sleet, at around that freezing degree temperature mark with quite high winds. Right this minute we're inside the forest and we're sheltered from the winds, but the winds are really quite high today, and in fact I believe there's actually a wind warning for the next couple of days in effect here in Ontario. So yeah, but here in the forest we are somewhat sheltered from that wind, which is nice. We're trying out a couple of new things today. One is a jacket I'm wearing, which we're going to talk about later, and also a cook pot. You'll remember about, maybe a month or so ago, we talked about a GSI burner for my cooking system, which I have decided that is the burner I'm going to use moving forward. I did kind of compare that to the Optimus Crux burner, but both great burners, by the way, and I'd recommend both of them, both coming in at about a $60 price point each Canadian. But I found with the GSI I could do the same job in a shorter period of time and a smaller or lesser amount of butane gas used to achieve the same goal. Again, we'll talk about some specifics later down the trail. For now, let's just keep going. Let's enjoy this trail this morning, as challenging as it is, and it is challenging. It's like you're working twice as hard to take each step just because of the terrain conditions. But having said that, it's still an amazing day. Let's keep going. Ooh, you can probably see the sun shining on my face. That's nice. Wind is strong. Temperature's dropping rapidly. And we're a good few kilometers into the hike already, but you know, I haven't been able to record a lot of footage. The terrain has been so difficult. Oh, runny nose again. The terrain has been so difficult that I needed both hands on my poles and post-holing pretty much for the last 3 or 4 kilometers. And it promises to be like that most of the day, but you know what, just take a little look where we are. Deep grey way in the background. Wow. But sun shining and reflecting on the tree trunks ahead of us. Maybe you see the wind moving the top of the trees up there. We're inside the forest, so we are somewhat sheltered, but the winds are still quite strong down here. Yeah, the trail behind me, wow. And little blue sky there in the distance, the trail ahead of me. Awesome. So you know what? Oh. So right now we're on a little bit of a flood area, so that's okay. It's going to go slowly so we can talk into the camera a little bit, but once we get to, assuming we get to our Pretty River Valley kind of location by the river where I camp sometimes, but not today, we're going to make coffee, which I quite often do, but again, we're working on dialing in certain equipment as we almost constantly try to upgrade and change equipment to do a better job for us. So primarily on my upcoming summertime through hike on the Colorado, butane gas consumption is always a concern. And as you know, I have settled on the GSI burner, and it looks like I've settled on the Optimus weekend cook system with the heat exchanger. I'll show you that more once we get to our coffee spot and we'll set up, and I can show you that in action. But what it does is, with an heat exchanger, it promises to reduce your butane gas consumption by 30 to as much as 40%, and indeed it does. In tests just back at my studio in tests, it's reduced my boiling time of a 500 ml of cold water by about a third, by about 34%. So that is a huge benefit. The burner, it's operating on about 8 grams of gas to boil 500 ml of water, which was kept in my refrigerator overnight, and then the next morning boiled or brought to a rolling boil. It took about 2 minutes to do that with the heat exchanger. It took about 3.5 minutes to do it in my regular pot, and it used 8 grams of butane. So that helps me calculate what I may need. Even though that test was done in a studio, the water was at refrigeration temperature, so just a little bit above the freezing, somewhere around maybe 2 or 3 degrees Celsius, maybe 34 or 35 degrees Fahrenheit. I do these kind of tests quite a bit as I dial in gear that I plan on using on a particular hike. So yeah, I'm going to show you that cook system, which is going to be the final cook system that I'm settling for this year, for 2020, and probably and hopefully longer, because I don't see being able to do much better than that. Jet boils are just not for me, even though they would even do better, but they're not for me. So I think I've got my cook system dialed in pretty good. Okay, let's keep going. This right here has been the best piece of trail as far as underfoot so far today. Sloppy, slippy, but it's only up to my ankles, not up to my knees, or even in some cases up to my thighs almost. Yeah, we're doing okay. As I always say, or quite often say, there's nowhere else I'd rather be right now, although maybe somewhere in the Caribbean would be beautiful today. Yeah. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I'm going to mention it now anyhow. Shout out to my 2 daughters, Amanda and Karina. They both live in Mexico. They have done for probably 12, 15 years now. My youngest daughter, Amanda, she lives in Puerto Vallarta. And my oldest daughter, Karina, she lives in Playa del Carmen. And yeah, I just wanted to mention those girls today, and because they're enjoying, hopefully enjoying nice weather and sunshine. Okay, keep going. Well, I'm sure you recognize this location. We've been here 2, 3, 4 times over the last month. We're at the Osler Bluff Lookout. In the distance, the town of Collingwood grain terminals, and Georgian Bay beyond. Grey, deep grey sky, absolutely stunning from a photographer's point of view. But anyhow, first of all, windy. But on one of my videos, and I think it was actually on Gary Clayton Photography, my photography channel, with my new GoPro Hero 8 Black, I had some settings that were incorrect as far as wind noise is concerned. Hopefully I've got those sorted out now, so hopefully the wind noise won't be bad at all right now. Having said that, trail taking much longer than anticipated. I knew this morning, laying in bed thinking about today's hike, I knew there was going to be a challenging trail today, hence my choice of footwear, my Morel hiking boots. But I didn't really anticipate for the significant amount of time longer that it's taking me. It's probably taken me about double the amount of time to get to this point. That does put in jeopardy the whole hike for the day, which is fine. I have no problems with that. Although I do like to accomplish the task when I set out on a hike. I'm going to take a quick break here, maybe have a piece of fruit, a granola bar. And I'm going to talk to you about a new jacket I purchased. Let's find a little spot to sit on that might be kind of dry, somewhat dry. And let's do that. Let's have a break. Okay, as I mentioned a few times, Super windy. But one thing I want to show you guys today, and I hope you can see me okay. Oh, sorry about that. Hope you can see okay. A new lightweight, super lightweight, at about 6-7 ounces poofy. Now, poofy jacket. This folds up into absolutely nothing. Falls into a little pouch, compresses or folds into its own little pocket. Super small, super lightweight. And the reason why I purchased this was, and it wasn't expensive by the way, I think this was like 30 bucks. That was it at the Canadian Superstore. It's a Joe Fresh brand. It's water resistant, but you know what? I didn't buy this for a water jacket. I bought this as a thermal under jacket underneath my rain jacket. I do have a vest from Mountain Gear Warehouse, a poofy vest with no sleeves. And I was a little concerned on the Colorado Trail coming up that I would need an extra layer of thermal protection on my arms. Hence this jacket. For the price, it's got 2 outside pockets, it's got inside pockets, and again, it's coming in at like 7, maybe 8 ounces in its pouch. Great deal. So I wanted to show you that because 2 reasons. A lot of people I know that go out hiking will spend $500, $600, $700 on something like this. And sure, there's going to be a certain difference in quality and workmanship, but there's nothing at all wrong with something like this. And you know what? At the end of a through hike, you can throw it away. But you won't have to. This will last a long time. I did have it on earlier when I started the day. I took it off simply because it was getting too warm and I didn't need that layer right now. So it's proven itself up. There goes my camera. Sorry guys. The wind is strong and I apologize about that, but oh, there goes my camera. Try to anchor things down a bit. I apologize about all that fluffing around with the camera there. The wind is very strong, as I keep mentioning, and it blew the camera over. But anyhow, so for the price, the point is you don't always have to go out and spend a fortune on a piece of gear for a particular trail. This will suffice just fine, I guarantee it, on the Colorado. Plus I'll use it a lot before then and I'll use it a lot after then. So you don't necessarily need to spend a ton of money. So I wanted to show you that guy. It's a Joe Fresh, came from the Superstore, on sale at the end of the year. And I forget, I don't know, let's say it was a $30 jacket or something like that. That was about it. I saw it, I liked it, I tried it on. This side is a large, which is perfect. Lots of room for something underneath, and it fits perfectly underneath my rain jacket. I wanted to show you that. Okay, having done that, it is my break time. So I'm going to take a break. I'm going to have a banana and maybe a granola bar, something like that. We'll see. What have I got here? Okay, I've got Nature's Bakery. These are those blueberry fig bars. So I'll actually have one of those now with a banana. And I'll save one of them because there's 2 in a package. I'll save one of them for a little later on. Well, I might have to save both of them for later on because I can't seem to get into the package. There we go. So a little kind of wheat and blueberry fig bars. That's okay. And a banana. So that's what we're having for our break. That's okay too. Okay, I'm gonna have my break and then we're gonna get going. We'll talk to you in a bit. It's getting cold now. I've sat down and stopped hiking. Oh well, okay. It's a beautiful little kind of forest or country stream. Absolutely gorgeous. Nice whitewater rapids, if you will, on that stream right now. Absolutely beautiful. I have many a time filtered water right here. Wow, it's a beautiful little spot. Okay, I think right here we cross a snowmobile trail. So this is the Pretty River Valley snowmobile trail. We go straight across here and we continue southbound in the Blue Mountain section of the Bruce Trail. Awesome. We're down in a valley right now. We just descended from the highest point on the Bruce Trail. However, we are going to have to climb back up the other side of the valley. But right now we are somewhat sheltered from the wind. Kind of nice. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Absolutely amazing. On this section of the trail, we travel, oh, quite a ways, I don't know, a couple of kilometers maybe, along the side or thereabouts of this beautiful rapid river. This is the same river that further down the trail we're going to have our lunch break at, which in all truthfulness is starting to sound pretty good. I have grilled chicken breast, lettuce and tomato, light mayonnaise on whole wheat toasted bread. That is my lunch, along with, say, another piece of fruit and granola bar, whatever. And we're gonna make coffee. That's when I will show you my new completed cook system for 2020 that I'm delighted with. So yeah, we continue. We're doing fine. Oh, and look, people ahead of us right here on the trail. Oh, look at this guy. He's just full of beans. How are you doing, dude? How are you doing? Yeah. We're just doing a little filming, but how are you?
Good, thank you.
Fine. Okay, so young lady out with her best friend on the trail. Absolutely perfect. We're very close to a major trailhead. So here on the Bruce Trail, when you get close to major trailheads, you see a lot of people out day hikes just like this, with their dogs and children and loved ones and so on, or just by themselves. It's actually a great trail for that at and around the trailheads. When you're doing a through hike on this trail and you get away from the trailheads, you actually don't see anyone. When I've done my through hike, I've gone 2 days. In maybe 2 days I may have seen one person, and at a trailhead you can see, oh, a dozen people. You just never know. We've got to use rocks to get over this little bit of stream here, but yeah, absolutely beautiful. A little fairy stream, a little finger stream coming off the main river. Wow. I do love the Pretty River Valley. It's one of the most picturesque places on the trail. The trail itself, the Bruce Trail in general, I'm sure I've mentioned this 1,000 times, but I will one more time. It runs from Queenston Heights Park in Niagara to Tobermory, the top of the Bruce Peninsula. And it's a stunning, challenging, amazing trail. About 900 kilometers. It's a great trail to hike with lots of challenges. And there's lots of beauty in different areas of the trail. It's an amazing trail. This is just one of the areas that I find to be stunning. But that, as a photographer, I love rivers, I love waterfalls, I love rapid rivers. And this pleases, this doesn't let me down. It never ceases to please, regardless of the time of year I'm here, whether it's winter, summer, spring or fall. Although it is beautiful in the fall through here, my goodness. But anyhow, so here we're right under the canopy of some major, I guess they're cedars. So I'll say cedars, but not 100% sure, but I think they're cedars. Yeah, great trail. Okay, so we said we'd talk about our new camp system, and right here, it's already boiled. It took about a minute to boil about 400 milliliters of water here in below freezing temperatures, and pretty much freezing water. A great little system. But what I like about it too, and the heat is the heat exchanger on the bottom. Now that little bottom heat exchanger right there, take a good look at that, makes all the difference in the world when you are buying a cook system for your hiking and camping and so on. It reduces greatly the boil time and the amount of butane gas you're going to need. Awesome little system. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that because that's the new system that we just purchased. I'm very happy with it. Now a system like that is going to set you back about 50 bucks or so for the burner, and about 40 bucks for the pot, so around $90 Canadian, maybe 65, 70 bucks, whatever US. But it's a great system. I love it, and it'll last a person for years and years and years, and you'll carry a lot less gas. Okay, I'm going to enjoy my chicken sandwich, my coffee, and then we're going to head back. We'll chat in a little bit after lunch. Bye. Well, last little look here before we start heading back. So we've just finished our lunch and coffee, and that was good. I am refueled. I'm not sure, but I bet you it took me about 4.5 hours to get here. Yeah, just because of the terrain and the conditions, it's going to be the same going back. Yeah, one last look at our lunch area, and I guess, yeah, someone's campsite. That's fine. So, okay, we're going to head back. We're going to enjoy the hike, because it's going to take us, again, at least 4 hours to get back. So that's fine. Okay, let's head on down this trail. And so yeah, at our turnaround spot, which is an area that I've camped at many times, we did see another camper there today. Now I don't think that particular person was a winter through hiker. The tent and his gear was just way too big to be packed in there on a backpack. So maybe he's camping for a period of time there, which is fine. Great place to be, and kudos to him as far as being a winter camper is concerned. Braver than me. I can't stand the minus 15s and minus 20s on a night. Tonight's supposed to be about minus 10 and windy, and I wouldn't want to be camping there. Another beautiful part of the river. Man, I am definitely coming back here sometime over the next week or two with my photography gear to create a video for my photography channel, Gary Clayton Photography. So do keep your eyes open for that, because then we'll be spending more time to actually photograph some of these streams and rivers and rapids and so on that are absolutely beautiful today. And this time of year, just full of running water. Perfect. Okay, moving on. Icy, icy, icy right here. Ooh. Glad I picked my Morel hiking boots for today's hike. Would have been much harder in my trail runners. And of course, you can always wear spikes. But on a day hike like this, I generally don't worry too much about that. Now, on a through hike in these conditions, spikes would definitely be part of my gear. But not essentially just a day hike like today. Look at this, more of these beautiful, beautiful trees. Wow, that's something else. Man, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful up here. About, oh, maybe 30-45 minutes of trail left back to where I parked this morning. I started this hike at about 8:45 a.m. Not 100% sure what time it is right now. However, I remember the last time I did check the time, so I'm guessing, and it is only a guess, that I will be ending this hike today somewhere around 4:30 p.m. So yeah, it's been a good, let's say 9 hours. I had to change battery. As always, in the middle of a sentence, the battery dies. But what I was saying is, so 8 or 9 hours, that's a decent time to spend on trail, be it a day hike or a through hike. A 9-hour day, that's fine. Especially with the fact that we didn't take a lot of long breaks or anything like that today. We had about a 15-minute break for lunch, and then we had about a 10-minute break and maybe another 10-minute break coming back, so about 30-35 minutes of break times. The rest of the time we've been steadily moving, sometimes faster than others depending on the terrain. And right now, coming up to the end of this hike, in all truthfulness, I am running out of steam, but that's okay. We're doing fine, and we're, you know, in no kind of danger of not accomplishing the task today. Just the last hour or two has been a little more grueling and a little more tiring and just a little slower pace. But hey, I'm 62. I'm going to be 63 this summer. Actually, I'll be 63 on the Colorado. So that's kind of fun. But yeah, wow. You know, this is an amazing location to be in, as I keep saying. And I do like this trail. The gear we've been testing out today has been the thermal jacket, which I did put on back on a couple hours ago because it got really cold. And that's working great. I mean, I'm loving that jacket for what I paid for it. I'm delighted. So again, just a little point. When you come to, say, the end of a season, such as the end of the winter season, you might be able to pick things up at a pretty reasonable price. Oh boy, this area is very tricky. Snow up to my knees again. Man. Oh, it's just like the trail just kind of, it's just the way the wind blows sometimes. And it just kind of blows mountains of snow into certain areas. And hence, you're in your, up to your knees or your ass in snow. Hence the term post-holing. It's just like digging holes for posts. But anyhow, we're doing just fine. Okay, let's keep going down this trail. Well, we're just about back at the car. Now, In fact, just in the distance down the trail, I can see the top of my car. Or maybe no. Nope, that's not my car. That's somebody else's car. But my car should be there. It's been a great day. Exciting, excellent, hard work, challenging. No doubt about that. Oh, you know what? That was my car. Okay. Yeah, challenging day. Man, we definitely know we've worked. We're going to enjoy dinner tonight and a hot shower, and that's great. Now, just for a point of interest, as I mentioned earlier, it's been about 9 hours on trail. I checked the app. I use I think it's called Gia or Gia app, G-I-A-I. I wouldn't use that app on a through hike simply because of the battery consumption, but on a day hike I do. It tells me I've done about 27 kilometers today, which was actually slightly more than I thought it was, but that's okay. So yeah, great training day. Again, happy with the gear we tried out today. Everything's good. So yeah, awesome. An amazing time. Nice and bright now as we come out of the forest. I'm actually glad to be done this hike today. I'm hurting right now and I hike all the time. Okay, my little car right there ahead of me. My little blue Chevrolet Spark. Great little car, love it to death. Very economical. I used to have a big van which I needed for my photography business, but I don't have that anymore. I sold it, used way too much gas. This one's a 2016, it's only got 40,000 kilometers on it. I don't know, maybe 30,000 miles. So yeah, that's my car. That's the trailhead behind me that we started at this morning and finished at just now. Hey, trail name Jasper here. If you like what we're doing, please give me a like, share, do leave a comment. I'll get back to you, ask questions, I'll answer them. And if you haven't already, click that subscribe clicker and click on the little bell that'll notify you every time I upload a video. We will talk to you next time. Bye bye.